huge victory with this recipe. So it is Mexican rice soup. Ugh. It looks exactly like another bean and rice recipe to me. Like, it's very, very hearty for a soup. I just warmed it up. I cooked it last night, but I ate another recipe last night, so I didn't actually try it yet. And when I was like, it just looks like rice and beans. But once I heated it up, it smells really good. So hold on. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, that's really good. What does it remind me of? It's like a vegetable soup, but heartier. But yeah, it reminds me of, like, I mean, this sounds bad, like a canned soup almost, but fresher. Like, I've never gotten that flavor from a homemade soup before. It reminds me of like a can of vegetable soup in a good way, because it's like that, but even better. I'm excited. This week has been so good for recipes, you guys. Okay, so the recipe recommended serving it with tortilla chips. I will definitely eat some of those. I got like whole grain ones. A struggle I had this week, and I'll talk to you more on Friday about this, is there's definitely a lot of stuff that isn't actually food plant-based, because there's oils and stuff. The tortilla chips, again, this is the second time I've bought these while on this journey, because it's the closest thing to a healthy snacking chip I could find, but it still has oil in it. It's the same thing I used for the artichoke and white bean dip, but I'm not like gonna split hairs over that stuff. The whole point is about getting healthier and figuring out how to meal plan and fit it all into my schedule, which was a struggle this week, and I did it, which I think is a huge victory. I don't know how I've been doing it. I cooked 2 recipes on 2.5 hours of sleep after working and babysitting, but I did it, and it's all really tasty and worth it, and it saved me money. This soup, for example, it says it serves 6. It's a lot of soup, so I think it will serve more like 8 servings, and so that means all of these percentages would go down, but if we say it's 6 servings, I spent about $8.16. I went to the grocery store and I realized after the fact I forgot the fire roasted tomatoes. I didn't see them in the canned tomato section, and I was going to look maybe if they had it in the Mexican food aisle, Mexican spices, but it was by the tomatoes, but I had forgotten and I had to go back and I found it. So that was an extra couple dollars. Originally it said $6.16 for this. So it was rice, 3 different kinds of beans. The $6.16 actually includes the $3 bag of tortilla chips. So that's awesome. Now, for my big victory though. Okay, this recipe has a can of fire roasted tomatoes, so about 79.89 cents for that. No, that was $2, sorry, $1.69 for the fire roasted tomatoes. I'm going crazy. There were 2 cans of beans, kidney beans, and one other kind of bean. I don't really remember. And then I had batch made black beans for the recipe that were dried, so those were extra cheap. Rice, which I already had. An onion. Ooh, I'm sorry, I'm like, you know, it's gross. I'm eating and talking and it's creating issues. Okay, an onion that I already had in the freezer, so I didn't need to buy the onion. And then there were supposed to be 6 cups of vegetable broth. I might have said stock broth. I don't know the difference. Stock. Okay, but here's the thing. I did a recipe in the past during this month that called for vegetable stock, and I bought a box of it for just under $4. But I saw online as I was looking up recipes this thing that said make vegetable stock from scraps of veggies that you don't use. So this whole month any recipe I've made where I've cut up veggies and I've had skin peelings, I've had leftover stuff, whether it's like seasoning, like rosemary, cilantro, parsley. I tried to make beet chips. I failed, but I think it's because the recipe had me cooking them at way too high a temperature, so they burned. But I kept the stems of those. I kept the skins, well, the second layer of skins. I would throw away the top layer because who knows what's going on with that. But of onions and like the butts of them that I cut off, and green onions, carrots that I got at the farmer's market. What else? All that stuff. I was saving it in a bag in the freezer. And as you saw in the intro video, I made my own vegetable stock out of that. The only thing I bought for it was celery for a couple of reasons. First of all, the base ingredients for most vegetable stocks are carrots, onion, and celery. I also really love celery. I'm a weird person. I feel like that's not common. I love celery. I love that you can make it sweet or savory. You can dip it in buffalo sauce. You can dip it in ranch. You can eat it with peanut butter. It's a miracle item, and I love it in soups. I love it. I love celery. So I wanted to make sure it was in the stock so the flavor was in there. So I spent $1 on that. One box, normal box of vegetable stock is 4 cups? Yes, 4 cups. And this recipe called for 6. So if I had bought the boxes, it would have cost me just under $8 to make this recipe. $8 in addition to the, what, $6.16? $8.16 once you add the tomatoes, sorry. It would have been twice as much to make this recipe. And I only spent $1 on extra items. I was nervous while making the stock because I did not like the smell that was coming from it. And I actually decided before I made the soup to taste the stock first, just in case it was nasty. I wasn't sure if it was like the carrot greens that were in there or the beet greens that were in there, but I tasted it and it tasted great. So all of my worries were gone. And I saved $7 on a recipe. I'm so excited about that, you guys. That was amazing because it's just stuff that you're normally gonna throw away and waste, and now it's just saved me a ton of money. I can make this whole recipe again for the amount of money it saved me. That is awesome. I'm so excited. And it's really good. And this week is fun because I have a lot of leftover stuff. Like I bought vegan sour cream, the tortilla chips, and there's leftover enchilada sauce, and there is cheese for my boyfriend that I partake in a little bit. And all of these recipes have a very Southwestern taste to them, so I can combine those toppings, and overall I didn't spend that much money on all of the individual extra toppings for these items. Like the enchilada sauce was left over. The sour cream I am going to finish because it's so good on all of these recipes. This week has been great, and I'm so glad that I've been sticking to this food prep thing because it is paying off. And even if I'm making these recipes and getting super frazzled because I don't have that much time, it's been worth it. It has been worth it, and that is awesome. Okay. I told you guys the nutrition facts, right? I don't know if I did. That's how crazy I am. It serves 6, 249 calories, 23% protein, 2% fat, 16% carbs, 25% sodium, 6 grams of sugar, 10% vitamin A, 12% calcium, 24% fiber, 10% vitamin C, 22% iron. Just in case I didn't tell you, because I don't know what's happening anymore. I'm gonna film Friday's video, and then I'm gonna eat the rest of this, and it's gonna be great. I might eat the rest of this while filming the video. Don't judge me.